Welcome everybody to the Public Market Advisory Commission meeting. It is November 20th and it is 5:33. We'll call this meeting to order. Stephanie, could you do the roll call?
I sure could. Yes. Commissioner Young.
Here.
Commissioner Hardy. Here. Commissioner Brinkerhoff.
Here.
Commissioner Flores.
Here.
All right, you are present. And we are missing Carlene, Jeb, and Jeff.
Okay.
As of right now. He may come late.
Yeah, given the traffic.
Yes.
All right, so the first thing on the agenda is to approve the agenda. You all got that in the email from Stephanie earlier this week. Does anybody have any changes, modifications, things they want to add? All right. Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hands or say aye. All right, thank you. That passes unanimously with those of us who are here.
All right.
Okay, and then the next thing on the agenda is the first public commentary, and this is to agenda items only.
Are there any members of the public?
Yay!
I kind of do it. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I mean, you can't have a void spot here, so. I want to welcome these new guys. This is awesome to have more people on our PMAC. It's wonderful.
Tell us who you are.
I'm Debbie Marks. Yeah, that's right. Everybody in the world doesn't know. I'm Debbie Marks. I've been a vendor at the Farmers Market for 34 years. I'm there year-round, and I'm loving to see the Christmas lights go up at the market. They look great at night. Unfortunately, while we're there, it's kind of hard to see. I would like to see more decorations at the market. This year when I was in the mall, Macy's went all out, and I talked to the manager there, and she said we ordered more decorations this year. It's a dark year, and we want to brighten it up. And they did, and it looks beautiful. I would really like to see a push for us to have more decorations for the holidays, and have it be right after Halloween a little more, not so close to Thanksgiving. Also, the wreaths, thank you to Grazia's for donating a wreath, and Saturday or next Wednesday we'll go through and get more donations. Again, I wish Parks and Rec could step up and do a little bit more, maybe like the garland and the lights like the city does. That looks so beautiful. That would be nice and festive down there. Music also. I know there's an issue with the office being down, but I play a CD player. Okay, now that's a little pathetic because I know they have those magnetic speakers that we could have, and then someone could program something in. I'm not even sure how that works, but I would like to see it be more festive. A lot of the customers complain about parking and it being so dull down there, and not from other venues that they come, they go, wow, this is really dreary. So we could spruce that up a little bit, and that could hopefully work for next year, but there's still time for this year. And thank you all again for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Any other members of the public like to provide public commentary? Jeff?
The agenda, or
This is agenda. If you want to do an off agenda, you can do the second one.
the second? Yeah, sure.
That one? Okay.
Alrighty, great. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from our October meeting, which again you should have gotten in your email. Any changes, modifications, anything like that on those? Okay, great. Thanks for typing them up, Stephanie. Those were long ones.
Yes.
Could I have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you very much. And then we have a vote, so everybody approved, please raise your hand or say aye. Okay, that's unanimous. So the minutes are approved from the October meeting.
Great.
Okay, and then we'll move on to a regular business. These are the agenda items, and under general updates, we have first thing, the market schedule.
All right. So this one, I figured I would include it because we are starting to get questions. It's the time of year people want to know when market shifts back to an 8 a.m. start. It does not happen until January. But we're, 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. The other part of this is Wednesday market is ending on December 24th. It will not be happening until May after that. And then Saturday shifts to as I said, 8 to 3 starting in January
Is December 24th the last one?
for Wednesday.
Great.
Yep, and the way that the market rules are structured is that we're not supposed to have a Wednesday market between Christmas and New Year's, so there's always not one the last week, it just happens to be Christmas Eve
Cool.
this year, which, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes.
It's called.
Yes.
So I don't know if anyone has any other questions or comments about that.
Okay, great. The next thing is staffing updates.
All right, so the good news is our new assistant manager / market inspector, Tyler Moss, will be starting tomorrow is his first day. So he will be joining us at market on Saturday. So that is very exciting. For those that don't know, it's been a couple years since we've had a market inspector. And what the market inspector does is they just verify that the person is the producer of the products. They're not checking food safety. They're not checking sales tax licensing. That's something that staff already does. This is just verifying that that person is the grower. And every vendor has to do it every other year. So we were very excited to have him join us. Previously, we had a contractor in that role, but we were very excited to bring them in-house so we can collaborate more closely with them and all of that good stuff. And here is Jeff right here.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Well, that's my chair.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Sit with markets.
No, I think you do need to sit on either side just for the, you know,
For the
the
screen?
filming. Yeah. Sorry. But welcome. So we were just talking about how our new market inspector will be joining us starting tomorrow. This is his first day, so we're looking forward to that. He will also be filling in on market days as needed. Obviously, as he trains and learns the process, he'll be here. But the idea is he'll be primarily doing inspections, but can also fill in when we are short-staffed or need extra hands or when someone is sick or something like that at market. And so that's going to be a new sort of version of that role. But yeah, we're looking forward to welcoming him. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Can you remind me, do inspections happen primarily at the market, or is there going out to the farms?
It's mostly on site at the vendor's workshop or farm or kitchen, depending on. But then there is also follow-up inspections at the market
Okay.
periodically. So yeah, he would be able to do that as well.
Okay, great.
Any other questions or
Did you have any
comments?
questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know, I'm speaking for me and Carlene, because we were chatting about all this. We haven't been working on like the precise recommendations because we think it'd be important to do that with the inspector. So the producer-only subcommittee would love to either like chat with the new inspector, see like what, if they think there are any unclear things in the guidance, because I know that's been some problems, to see kind of what the issues might be, and then that would be the kind of thing we think should be clarified with a broader group of producers. But we need to see what the new producer thinks about the existing stuff. And then Carlene also wanted to suggest that since it's been a while, and both with the inspection stuff and just like keeping their files at market like up to date about what people are carrying and stuff, that's all kind of slipped a little bit, and that it might be good to have like a month period of like people get their things back in order before the inspector starts kind of going around and enforcing things. That had been a suggestion just because it has been a little while, and both among vendors and customers, there's kind of chat about like how are things going on that. So it might be good to have a period where people can kind of reset a little bit, get their paperwork in order, you know, because if they're inspecting for certain things out at the farm and they have it like listed that they're growing that, even though they are growing that, like that'd be good to just kind of have everything above board.
And I mean, there are people that when they add new things, we do have them fill out the vendor, but you're right, there are some people that may not be proactive about sharing
Yeah.
that aspect.
Yeah, and I think there are things that are totally above board that just haven't been shared
Yep.
because of
Exactly.
kind of lapsing in inspectorship and just things getting busy. So that was the suggestion from Carlene and I, that there be kind of a period that, you know, gets reviewed, and that, making sure the inspector doesn't just inspect new vendors, but also like catches up on the annual inspections that have fallen behind. Though the logistics of that seem maybe difficult because there's so many to catch up on. So I was also wondering, what the plan was for catching up since it's a few years behind.
Well, I mean, the upside is he is designated as doing this, so he has more hours to give to it than the previous inspector did.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Plus, he's starting in a time of year that's slower at market, so he'll have more hours even to give to that in the winter to catch up.
Yeah, so 1 day a week type of work.
Yes, at least. Because he's going to have 29 hours.
Or I was saying, once the market moves to 1 day a week, there's
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
I think that's what we've been talking about. But yeah, I think Carlene and I would love to chat with the new inspector and take on existing policies and if they're all right.
Yep. Cool.
Jeff, you look like you were about to say something.
Or I was just going to say, there's always going to be, on a farmer's application, there's always going to be something there that's on our application that we didn't grow this year.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of it. I mean, none of it's perfect as far as sweet corn. Let's say sweet corn, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet corn's on my application.
Yeah.
There's years that we don't even grow any sweet corn.
Right.
Because we run out of time and that's not high on the priority list.
Yeah.
So therefore, in season, it depends on if you get a lot of rain in the spring, it might not happen.
Yeah, I mean, and if they're
So-
inspecting right now, there's no sweet corn. So.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, to update our product list. To me, it's more important to add the new things to make sure
That's, I think,
you got all your bases covered.
I think that's what I was meaning
Yeah.
to say, is people who've started bringing either, like, there are people who, like, bring soaps or knitted things
Sure,
or just other
sure.
stuff that's,
Yeah.
and if you were primarily a produce producer, you just want to show that
Right.
it's above board and
Correct.
not about making, I think it would be insane to try to have the inspector make sure that every vegetable you've ever listed, they have, like, verification
Right,
for.
right.
That is kind of the, like, complicated nuance, but I
Right.
agree that would
But
be.
then again, he's at market, so if it's not on your table and you're not growing it that year, then he knows that. And,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's kind of a,
Yeah, it's more about the things that show up on market
Right.
market that aren't on the forms, I
Absolutely.
think.
yep.
Less about taking away the.
Yes, exactly. But we're really excited to be able to have that conversation, because before, every time I would try to talk to the inspector, I would try to say, like, hey, tell me where you're going, give me a report, and none of that really was ever happening. And I would just be getting like a stack of papers this thick months later and trying to do, so I don't even necessarily think it was the lack of inspector is why that fell behind. I think it was also that aspect of the previous inspector.
Yeah, I mean, it is also behind because no one's inspected in 3 years, but.
Right, but we do try to be as proactive as possible, but I hear you.
Yeah, but no, Carlene and I are very excited. Well, I'm very excited that they're starting tomorrow. Carlene will be excited when she knows they're starting tomorrow. And yeah, we're just excited to be able to carry that conversation further once there's someone where that's their job. So we're very excited.
Yep.
And a little additional help at market too. That's great.
Yes.
And in time for the holidays.
So
what are their 2 months off then?
well, it starts with date of hire, so it'll be 10 months from tomorrow. So it means there's probably a week where we will be short-staffed, but that was the closest we could get to doing this.
It's much better than you've been.
Yes, and that's the other reason why for the hybrid, so that he could fill in when needed.
That's great.
So, yes.
Good.
Any last thoughts on that one? Okay. Cool. All right, so food assistance.
Yes.
This is a big one.
It's been a busy time.
Lots going on. So for those that may be aware, due to the government shutdown, there was a pause on SNAP disbursement to customers. And as a result, Fair Food Network did a couple pivots, which impact us directly in terms of operations at market. One was they removed the $20 limit. So instead of having just a $20 double up food bucks match for your SNAP purchase per day, they made it unlimited until the end of the year, meaning if you take $100 off your card, you can get $100 in double up food bucks. People obviously are very excited about that. There is also no longer an expiration on benefits. And this doesn't so much impact us with tokens, but places that use a Double Up card, it's a 90-day window from when you made a purchase that's supposed to equal Double Up food bucks to when you're allowed to use it. But they also lifted that. And they also added frozen fruits and vegetables with no added salt, sugar, and fat to the allowable list temporarily. So, and that's obviously something that's a little bit more grocery store oriented, but you can get frozen blueberries now at Market.
Yeah.
This way. The other thing that Fair Food Network did is they came up with what they call bonus bucks, which is $40 in vouchers that anyone on the SNAP benefit card can come to the Market, show us their card. We give them these $40 vouchers, which come as $10 sort of cutout coupons. And they can spend those however they want to on fruits and vegetables, fresh or frozen, with the same caveat. And the only catch is they can't get change back, so they have to get as close to that $10 as possible. And then, vendors just have to submit them like they would any other tokens for reimbursement. But then we have to submit them to Fair Food Network for payment. But yeah, so those are two sort of really big changes we've been grappling with, which are wonderful, but mean there's a lot of extra legwork we've been doing at Market, a lot of it in the realm of communication with people with limited English proficiency, specifically Mandarin speakers. We've translated into Mandarin. We've had to use our language line translator app often, Google Translate, obviously. So that's been a lot of the labor going into that. Because we have a lesser degree of Russian speakers, as well as like Spanish and Arabic speakers like other markets do. For us, it's a large portion of our food assistance is to people that speak Mandarin. So it's always a challenge communicating to them when there's a change. And this time there's like multiple big changes, so that has definitely been a challenge. But we are so very excited now that Lunia is far enough along in her learning of Chinese that she's able to say a few things to the customers, which has been really, really exciting for me to witness. So that's sort of like general food updates with that. In terms of what the Fair Food Network has done, I should also say too, I was in conversation with Supportive Connections within the city, which is another organization I think it's technically a department within the city, and they work on harm reduction and other realms associated with that. And they were actually looking to see if there was funding that they could unleash to connect with our SNAP customers to sort of, bridge that gap, similar to what Growing Hope has done, similar to what Eastern Market has done as related to this pause. And they found that in the short term, the funding that they had couldn't be applicable just because of the strings on it. But we thought maybe for long term, we could expand the connection with our Community Cash program, which is an older program that I created, which the idea of it was to connect nonprofits with tokens in essence so that their clients could come shop at the Market. So we're hoping to have a meeting about this in the new year to see if there's a long-term way that we can get Supportive Connections clients to get Market tokens to come down and spend and get access to healthy food, local food, and all that stuff. So that came directly out of the pause. So as it was negative, that was a positive. Yeah. And we'll see where that goes. That's an exciting development. And they pretty much reached out to us and said, hey, we have this money. Can we do something? And that is what we decided.
I have a follow-up on the changes to Double Up food bucks. So I can imagine with a governmental shutdown, there might not have been a lot of communication to SNAP recipients about the changes specifically to Double Up.
Yes.
Have we found it that when people come to the farmers market, are we the first ones informing them of that $20 daily cap is eliminated and frozen foods are covered now? Because I imagine someone who's using food stamps, their first thought is, we're running out of our benefits. Let's go stock up at a place where we can get the most bargain for it.
Yep.
So is that education that we have been able to share, or is it often we're the first ones letting them know at the Market, if we know?
We're usually the first person letting them know.
Okay.
Because they're like, oh my God, this is great. Thank you. This is wonderful. especially with the bonus bucks. I think people heard maybe a little bit more about the cap, but I think really it's more word of mouth within the community.
Yep.
Like we saw a lot of people come in to get their $40 vouchers that we have never seen before at Market. And it's clear that their neighbor or their friend or their community member told them, hey, go down there and get them. But no, we definitely are the first piece of people knowing that information. And I don't know if that's just because the structure of Double Up Food Bucks being a separate entity, they don't have access to the caseworkers to tell the people in the same way that other setups do. But that's a really great question. So yeah, we are literally like the first point. So we have translated all of our materials into Mandarin. Often Fair Food Network has resources for us if we ask them, but it just happens so quickly. Like we've had to do it all ourselves, which, we're used to. It's not a big deal. But yes, we are definitely the first place where they're learning that.
Okay.
And there have been a couple people that they maybe went to Eastern Market and there was like, they were out of the bonus book, so they were able to get them at our market. So maybe it's also like other farmers markets telling them, but yes, but that's a great question.
I know in the past you've done like outreach directly to like the Mandarin speaking communities.
Yes.
And it might not even make sense given how quickly things constantly change, but I was wondering if it would make sense to send a translator, like you and a translator, out to the key hubs.
This one is hard just because it was such a quick rollout and it only lasts a very short time.
Right,
so this is only like to the end of this year.
Yeah, that's why I was get that it might not, but I was wondering.
Right, but for those that aren't aware, so before in the past when they've changed what the cap is for Fair Food Network, we did go to Parkway Meadows, which is one of the senior living facilities where a lot of the Mandarin speakers live. They actually travel together in a shuttle to Market, and we did have a translator there, and they were really thankful, and they were just like all excited, and there was like jokes for months when they're like, "We saw you," so it was a really important thing that we did do, and yeah, if it was a more long-term thing, we certainly would do that. It's just really tough turnaround, and now that the pause is over, I just don't know, especially also too because many of them have already gotten their money and spent it.
Makes sense.
Spent it, yeah. Yes. Any other questions about that piece of it? Okay. I did want to add two more things about food assistance, and this does not have anything to do with the government shutdown. This is just the timeline of these programs. So Senior Project Fresh, WIC Project Fresh are both done for the season. So for those, you'll remember that they switched over to a digital delivery of that. So for Senior, we only had 3 vendors taking it this year. For WIC, we only had 1. There was a little bit of a snafu with WIC in that they stopped the program like 2 weeks early. And they did not let us know that because we're no longer, involved in their mindset as a facilitator of the program. So that was a little bit of a throwing us for a curveball because people were like, oh, I got a call. It's the last day. I want to spend this, but they couldn't because the vendor had forgotten their reader that day, and it was just a whole thing. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But Senior, it expired at the end of October. That was the natural deadline. We knew about that. And then our last food assistance update is our prescription for health is almost done for the year. That goes through November 30th. So that is almost ready. And after that, we just have to do all the final processing for invoicing to make sure vendors get paid, to make sure the city gets reimbursed for those vendor payments, and all the sort of end of year reporting for grants that we have to do. So,
have there been any discussion or thoughts about either desire or ways to have more vendors accept WIC and the limited food assistance ones that mostly just, I think, Carlene is accepting?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried pretty much every possible thing already. I think the biggest problem is the way that the system is set up. So for WIC in particular, vendors have to pay $20 a month to use the Total Play Go app to even be able to accept. And considering we were making just under $7,000 as a market as a whole before that, it just was not financially viable for the vendors. Senior doesn't have that, which is why we had a few more people participate. But no, it's a constant struggle. We have MSU Extension nutrition educators that are like ready to help. There just has not been an interest from vendors. And I think the other side of it is not just the cost, it's also the extra trainings that they have to go through, the extra paperwork.
Yes.
It's just a lot to put on somebody in planting season is usually when it goes through every year.
Right. I was wondering if
yeah.
maybe it would make, if with the cost, if there's like grants or anything that the market could pursue to help vendors.
Well, there is
offset that.
Michigan Farmers Market Association already offers grants where they can buy card readers, they can help cover the cost. But the way that it works with that is, I think you can get a discounted rate if you make like above a certain amount, but it's only for 1 year, and there's all these things. But no, MIFMA is the reason that guests can take WIC. Like that is what, like unequivocally, they help them get their reader. They help fund that. And no, I mean, honestly, like if it weren't for them doing that, there would be a lot less vendors statewide participating in the programs, for sure. But it's a hard one. I mean, you know, like you can't force people to like want to take on administrative paperwork. That's the really hard part. Especially when it's not for that much percentage of sales.
The other thing I was
But
gonna
it's
say
important.
is
I mean,
just
you know.
winter seems like, even if it's all due during the growing season, if there was going to be like outreach or education with vendors, it seems like winter would be maybe, even though they're not at the market, like that could be a good time if anyone is willing to do the paperwork but doesn't have the time. That might be a time that you could get, just because there's a lot of, I mean, I've worked stalls that don't take them and sell produce, and it's hard just saying no.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we tried to be as proactive as possible even before the switch happened. We gave every single vendor a physically printed out application. We walked them through the process, and it just was not, it was for naught in that way. So we have done a lot of legwork, and it just has not, you know, I don't know much more that we can do as a market. What really could happen is if they change their their app vendor. I think that would be a huge thing for more people. And honestly, a lot of farmers market managers, like we've talked to the Department of Health and Human Services, we've explained to them that this is not helpful, that this is not making people want to participate. Cutting markets out of the process almost completely is not helpful, because that's the other thing. Like, say we do all this legwork, but we can't fill out the application for the vendors. Whereas in the past, like we could print stuff out and be like, here, we'll help you. We're not allowed to do that any longer. So they've pretty much set it up in a way that it makes it very difficult for us to encourage vendor participation when they're not even like allowing us to participate, really, you know. But I hear you. It's important programs. It's it's very sad that it's made it inaccessible to a lot of people. Any other questions or comments of any topic under the food assistance heading?
Thanks for that work.
Thanks.
The next topic is events, marketing, and outreach.
All right. So, we are officially done with special events for the year outside of market hours, not including Kindle Fest, because that's not our event. But it is at our space, so there is a perception that we are running it. And one of our vendors is the organizer this year, Jeb, specifically. So too bad he's not here to tell you all about it. But yeah, so we successfully finished our food truck rallies, successfully had our Halloween event, successfully completed all of our cooking demos, Flower Day, all the other things that we had throughout the year. So we are looking forward to next year and trying to put together events. Jade is really excited about being in this role, helping with events, helping with marketing and outreach. So, you know, the winter time is also when we usually brainstorm events, but if you all have any ideas, something you want to see, something that someone told you that they were interested in, let us know. I mean, it may or may not be logistically feasible, but we can always explore it and see what happens with events. So, I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. That's a short one. Well, relatedly, as I said, Jade has been doing a great job helping us with the outreach in terms of the food assistance changes. We've collaboratively put together a update or series of updates about the changes to food assistance, the resources that we have, other resources that are existing in our community. And Jade right now is also working on like a holiday gift guide, both geared towards market on Saturday and Wednesday for Thanksgiving, as well as a more December-focused holiday side of it too, and looking at recipes, what ingredients will be available, which artisans have certain items. So that is something that is in the works right now that we are trying to do. Because again, now that we have a lot of staff, we can do these things instead of it being something that I'm also doing in addition to all of the other things. So there's that. And yeah, I also spoke with the people that are doing the FMPP research grant. I believe that was yesterday. And they're really curious about if there's any outreach support that we want, or if there's any specific community or elements of our community that we want help reaching out to or need suggestions. They are here to help us, because a lot of the data, you'll remember, that they collected had to do with who knows about the market, who's coming to the market, who's missing out on that messaging, and all that stuff. So that was a relatively short one. I don't know if anyone has any questions or comments.
Do you have, I remember a long time ago there used to be just postcards on where the market is and the hours and things like that. Is that still a resource that's available?
That was long before my time. I've never seen anything like that. So, and at least not in the last 5+ years.
Because actually, if that could come up again, I would love to take some of those over to the food pantry on campus.
Okay.
You guys probably know of other places that.
Lisa, I couldn't hear what you were suggesting.
Just postcards about,
Yes.
where the market is and the hours and things like that.
They used to have magnets too.
Yes.
Shirts. Like refrigerator magnets.
Yeah.
All of it we have.
Yeah, it's just, and there are more students that are coming, more of the university population that's coming to the market, but I'm also recognizing with the underclassmen that I work with that there are a lot of people that don't know. And recently I was talking to the manager of Maize and Blue Cupboard, the food pantry at U of M, and asking her if she knows of anybody shopping at the farmer's market that also comes to Maize and Blue Pantry. And she said she didn't know, so they actually started asking people if they knew about the farmer's market, and people were like, what's that? So there were some people that were coming in that were really excited, but others that weren't.
So who's in charge of advertising? Would that be you guys, Stephanie?
Oh, it's all us. 100% of everything is all us.
So
Jade primarily now, or?
I mean, it's me too.
how
It's Jade and I, primarily.
I'll show you. I'll bring some of those magnets
Yeah.
to show you, because we always had them stuck inside the money box and we give them to people.
Oh,
So
nice.
some of our money boxes still have them stuck on the inside. They're just they're business card size. They said Ann Arbor Farmers Market and Wednesday and Saturday and Sundays, and had you remember?
And they had the magnets that were this big that says, we are open all winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, with graduate
Just a
students as
reminder.
well.
I just think something like that would be simple, easy to order, easy to hand out.
Yeah, I'd also be happy to bring them I don't know if you guys know, but the University of Michigan Campus Farm recently bought a mobile farmers market unit. They bring to campus on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
It just finished for the year, but between, late May from a seedling sale up until 2 weeks ago, every Thursday there was a market stand there, and there's hundreds of students who come and buy produce.
Yep.
And I'm sure that the staff there would be happy to pass out.
And there's an information table that could just be part of that, yeah.
And we actually had tried to partner with them a couple years ago, where they were like, maybe we could come to market one day, but it just never materialized. This maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
I assume there's turnover in leadership. since-
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's something that we had talked about once.
Right.
It just
I guess I'm just saying if it didn't work out,
happen.
then that doesn't necessarily mean it wouldn't work out.
Right. I wasn't saying that. I was just simply saying that could be maybe revisited.
Yeah, yep,
With whomever's.
yeah. And if you need people to connect to, let me know, and we'll also,
Yeah.
I'm partnering with them on a project, so I was talking to one of their community outreach social media people.
And yeah, Jade and Lunia are very
Yep.
well connected in that community, so that's helpful as well. Yeah, and I guess with that said, you mentioned bags. We are in the process of bringing back merch to the market.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
The reason that we haven't had it recently is that a few years ago, Parks wanted to just have everything housed in a Parks shop, which was online, which you would go to. And it just, it has not been very successful for us. I think we've made $0 in sales or something for the market. And it's always weird when someone's like, oh, do you have a bag? And I'm like, go to our website. That doesn't really fit. So that is something that I asked leadership about, and they said that sounds great. So we're probably going to launch the bag first because I think that's the highest demand item, canvas specifically, and then we're going to bring back the shirts too, or make a new design or whatever. But that's something that we will have on site again, because that's something that people really have missed. We're also trying to get, I don't know if you remember when there used to be like the little token bags. They're like little canvas.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people using them.
Me too.
Yeah. So we're trying to investigate where we can find those. It's been a little harder to track down what was used in the past, but that's another thing we're trying to bring back. So the canvas, tote bags, the token bags, and then shirts, at least in our first round, and then we can expand from there. So that's also, I guess, a marketing and outreach item. Yeah. That's exciting. Yes. Yeah, I just sent the design for the bags to Remy like yesterday. So soon.
Very exciting.
Okay. Anything else on that? Questions or comments? All right.
And was that part of the logos to Civic
No,
Rec
that was
transition?
certainly not.
Okay.
No, that was part of marketing and outreach.
Okay.
So, this one, they are making us change our financial software from Logos to Civic Rec.
That's what-
We had probably a conversation about it today. The first official training is tomorrow. So that will actually be the first thing Tyler does at all, is come learn this new process. So
What's
what's this?
not unlearning the other one, right? So
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
It's just
that's
learning.
the start.
seems good.
And this means three things. This means that token sales will be getting processed through a new software tracking. So Logos was or is the financial reporting software that the city uses, but we're the only one within Parks that also uses it. Everyone else has been using the Civic Rec one for a very long time, but because we are unique, they had us on this other system, but now they just want to make it all under one umbrella. It's a little funky because we are very different, and the Civic Rec, the way that it really works is through like reservations. So say you want to like reserve a pavilion, or you want to sign up for a swim lesson. It's more like that. Right. So they're having to tweak it a little bit for our uses. So first thing is going to be token sales. So credit, debit, EBT that we've been talking about. That's going to all have to be tracked through this, which means we're going to have to change a little bit the setup in the office trailer, because we're going to have another computer that's just designated for this. Hopefully it's just going to be tablet and easily movable. But that's, I think, one of the other parts of this challenge is that we don't have a full office right now. So it's kind of a little hard for us to take this on, but that's the one thing. So the token sales are going to change slightly. This is also going to be changing vendor invoicing, which is a good thing, because how it works now for vendors, yearly invoicing, we have to create a spreadsheet, send it over to finance. They have to create an invoice, send it to vendor. Anytime there's an edit, we can't fix it. We have to ask them to change it. If a vendor address is wrong and they didn't notice that we changed it, like it's going to the wrong address. So there's a lot of things that have been frustrating over the years because we can't control any of that stuff. So the one good side is that will allow us to edit it as we need, to make sure everything is up to date. But it also means that all vendors will have an account created in Civic Rec. So, meaning that we can track things better. You can pay online a lot more successfully, which I know has been a point of contention for a few years. Some people have been able to do it easily, other people not so much. So that is changing for that. It's also going to be something we're going to use for daily vendor payment, which is slightly different, right? It's not official invoice, people are just paying day of. And then the last element is the token reimbursements is also going to go through here. So it's just a lot of things that we're going to have to change. So yeah, bear with us, I guess. I'm not the most excited about it, not gonna lie. Mainly because, as I said, we don't have a full office. To have a full desk and POS station like all of the other purchase facilities have, where people just come in to the register and you're done. Whereas us, it's like, it's probably gonna be a table on wheels that we have to like move to the side to let people walk in back and forth, so it's gonna be a lot.
What about a token vending machine?
Yeah.
No, really, you would eliminate that. It would have a record.
Well, we still have to pay back vendors, and we still have to invoice vendors, and we still have to collect
it
rent.
would
It
ease
doesn't.
the, you having to put everything and wait on all those people. If you had the token vending machine, it would keep a record. People could wait on themselves.
I don't, yeah, like, we still have to do,
What?
yeah.
Languages on it,
Yeah, you could have that.
like an
Yeah,
ATM machine.
different languages. Good one, Jeff.
We still have to do all sorts of end of day, yeah, we have to do still all the end of day cash outs and stuff, so I don't think that would
Okay. Just
work for our process. It's creative, but I just don't think it would work, at least in what we need to do. But yeah, so it's that, but those three things will be changing in different ways under this. So as I said, it's going to be a large undertaking. They are mandating this change from finance. I have been, of course, asking multiple questions about the why and the how and the when aspect. Because I was actually hoping that we'd be able to do it gradually. First, I wanted to start with the vendor invoicing because that was the one that needed the most help, and then everything else is fine. But they just figured we'd do it all at once, so there we are.
And so what will the rollout of it be? Is it going to be like, okay, we've switched from one to the other?
Yes, January 1st,
Oh, okay, good.
and we're having our first training tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
But at least it'll be a slower time at market.
not necessarily. It's still very busy right now. Like, we had 70 vendors last week.
No, but when it actually gets implemented on January 1st.
No, because that turns into our high season for administrative stuff with applications and all of that side. So it's just a different season, I guess. But there really is no good time, is really what it comes down to. We're always busy with something. So for those of you that don't know what that's all about, no worries. You'll figure it out as we go on. Any other questions on that? Okay.
So I think this is a typo, but I just want to make sure because there was.
Yep, it was.
Yeah,
I
okay.
just noticed it was accidentally duplicated.
No problem. Just wanted to double check.
Ignore that one.
Okay, so now we're on to G, facilities and repairs.
Yes, everyone's favorite topic. As of right now, the main facility update was already mentioned in our public comment, but yes, the holiday lights are up. Mostly up, all up. We'll see how we have labor hours and not people in the way to put more up, but they are fully up on the main aisle and a little bit of the Carytown aisle. As of right now, we had a volunteer event on Monday. We had 9 volunteers come to market.
Nice.
And not only did they put up the lights, they also helped pick up a large amount of trash.
Wow.
They did some weeding.
Wow.
It was a official Farmers Market Love a Park Day. And you'll probably notice, Jeff, that behind your zone, that little rain garden was just like a trash festival, and it is so looking so great right now.
So glad we put those in.
So there's that, but it was great. And then we had people just picking up trash and sweeping in various areas of the market. So that was really helpful to have people come and make it look nice. We've had at least one person say thank you so much for putting this up as we were putting the lights up. And this was just a customer walking by yesterday, so that was really great. But that's sort of where we're at. Yeah, and we did have one of the wreaths hung. I don't know, are we doing more or is it just the one?
Well, we'll beg. We'll go down
Okay.
and beg them and find
Okay.
out who'll donate. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that is sort of like our big, I guess, update on that. There's still a few things we are waiting on for repairs, mainly having to do with the bird netting, which we have talked about a few times in here before. But as of right now, the water is turned off for the season, so the pipes don't freeze. For those of you that aren't aware of that, this happens every year. And I guess that's really, I think we're pretty good in terms of the gutters that were bent have been fixed. The electrical were in good shape going into the winter. So, I think all urgent things have been addressed. There's a lot of long-term things that need still to be addressed. The thing I will say too is that the city has been working on their asset management plan within parks, and they have done a full assessment of the market structure, so the load-bearing nature of the posts, some being more corroded than others due to high levels of salt and metal getting together and chemical reactions happening. And so we're still waiting for the full release of that information, but it is coming. They have done it, so we'll have more info soon, hopefully heading in to the community engagement process for the new building. So that's all I got for that one.
So I know this is slightly off the property, but when Debbie was mentioning the lights, I remember you telling us that the city had planned some sort of sculpture shade for over the picnic tables. Any news on that?
Heard nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to go up this summer, but I do not know
Okay.
anything about that since. I did ask them, but I have not heard back yet.
Is that through DDA? Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And they were also supposed to do that whole wayfinding thing to the parking structure, and I don't think that has
Okay.
been completed either. I think we probably would have heard.
Okay.
Or
Or seen.
Or,
Yeah.
right.
It should be
I mean, there's a lot of
easily
construction
seeable
there.
if there's a wayfinding thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There is movement on the artists for the Dunbar Tower. That's probably going to happen in the spring.
Cool.
So
great.
I don't know if they'll. I know those are unrelated projects,
Sure.
but maybe that'll get people motivated to think about other public art projects like that.
And I don't know if it was just like they're waiting on the artist, the materials were too expensive. I have no clue. All I know is that they picked an artist for both, and it was supposed to be installed, and I don't know what the timeline is.
And they were different artists for the
Yes, yep,
different
completely
projects.
different projects. Yes. They had different selection committees and everything.
Okay.
And that was a partnership with the Ann Arbor Art Center,
Okay.
with both of those.
The sunshade and then the other one is
The wayfinding.
The wayfinding.
Yep, and they're basically going to be painting, on the sidewalk this way to the market and putting colorful murals on the Ann Ashley structure as well. So wayfinding specifically from that structure to the market, it should specify. But yeah, great question. I don't know.
I was excited since that shade was supposed to be reminiscent of a Baroque, so
Yes,
just
it
wanted
will
to
be.
see the
It
design.
still will be. It's just when it shows up is unknown.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. Any other questions or comments on facility or repairs? Okay.
Okay. Now my favorite topic, 33 Detroit Street construction.
303 Detroit
303.
Street. Okay. As many of you may know, there's a lot of construction happening around the market. And the most recently started one is the 303 Detroit Street. So that is the old, what did they call it? Was it Farmers Market? or
Marketplace.
Marketplace, that's what it was, building. They will be retrofitting that for housing. They will be putting a 5th story on. They will be apparently putting a car elevator on the side. Yes.
Say what? A car?
Car elevator.
on the
like in
4th.
Chicago, yeah, or New York City.
And then, okay.
Yes, that is the plan on the 4th Street side. And where this involves us, aside from it being like our direct neighbor, they're going to be staging the construction on our property. The reason for this was so that they would not have to close 4th Ave completely, or to close Detroit Street completely. So the other option was taking our pocket park and putting the crane and fencing there. That is what they are in effect doing. I don't know the timeline yet. We're definitely hoping to get through this year. I think we definitely will get through 2025 before that happens. But I did confirm that the fencing will be completely blocking that sidewalk connecting Fourth into the market. So people will just have to go through the parking lot or go around the other way to get in. I was hoping that there would be a little walkway still, but alas, no. And the other thing too is it's going to be part of their agreement that they are not allowed to put the crane above the market at any time, and they're not allowed to operate it during market hours.
Right.
So, and they said, I guess the way it needs to go, it's fine. They don't need to put it over our structure. But we, of course, don't want any mishaps or, drop something and, we know what would happen. So, but that is the latest that I have heard from Remy this week. So we don't know the exact date, but we know that it is happening, and that is what it's going to look like.
It is in their contract that they're supposed to do wayfinding, so that might be something to nudge about too, is when things start to be blocked off.
And he did say also that if there is an overlap between that project needing to disrupt the sidewalk access and the other side of the street being closed, they're not going to close both at once. There's going to always be a sidewalk maintained. They said they are even going to put in a temporary concrete sidewalk on the Dunbar Tower side while the other side is closed, so that will at least be maintained. And that's not the same as wayfinding, but it at least is that, like, the access will not be fully blocked. It just means you'll have to go down the sidewalk and go past the office and into the market through the sand lot. You just won't be able to go through Fourth. So that is something, but I don't know, with timing, we'll see. I mean, Dunbar is probably going to be done a lot sooner than any of this happens, but it is imminent, and they're just negotiating the last details right now.
Are they going to leave the sidewalk open on the Detroit Street side?
Yes.
Okay.
Detroit Street will not be disrupted more than it already is. Right?
So just the existing fencing. But
there's already the existing fencing.
Yep.
And yes, and I will talk more about that in our next item. But are there any other questions about 303? Okay. Not to be confused with 330, that they also own across the street. Okay. So
That's the other neighboring construction updates on the agenda.
oh, it's been a doozy. So, the other neighboring construction updates. So Dunbar Tower, I will start there because they are the nicest neighbor. We really enjoy working with that team. They have been super helpful. There's been a few moments where they block our access to our driveway when they have deliveries or when they have not cranes, but heavy machinery turning around in our parking lot. But for the most part, we have very open communication with them. I got a monthly construction update from them. Every month they've been really on it, telling us if there needs to be any road closures, telling us what they're working on, any other things that we need to be aware of. So that's been great. We also know that people have applied for those. We know people have also been notified whether or not their application had been received and accepted, and I know that they are assessing those right now. And this at least includes at least one of our food assistance customers who we've spoken to about this.
Oh, fantastic.
Is on the list. So we're really looking forward to leaning hard into that partnership with food access, with outreach to people directly to the community, reminding them that they can use their SNAP at Market, they can get to local food bucks. Prescription for Health is in play, all of the other things we have to offer to them, and also, just having a fresh food source right next to them, even if they're not a SNAP recipient, I think is going to be really helpful. So looking forward to working with Avalon on that one, as well as the Housing Commission. But the other one, 330, we continue to have a lot of headaches with that. This week, I shouldn't even say this week, yesterday, we had issues with them parking a very large box truck and other vehicles on the street on Detroit Street. So not just in the spaces, but like next to the construction fence. And we tried to ask them to move, and they were like, sorry, we don't know where to go. So then we reached out to our beat cop, Andrew, and he was like, they have nowhere to go. You can't do anything. I'm sorry. Let us know if no one can get in or out. Then we'll do something. So that was a little bit But I get it. I mean, I understand. There was no place for them to put that. But it has been a little frustrating, honestly. And that means market staff is constantly talking to people saying, hey, please don't park here. You're blocking vendor access. Or, hey, this is market only right now. Like, please don't do this. And most of the people we talk to are okay. But even last Saturday, I was like, please don't park here. The vendor needs to load in. And they're like, oh, you're killing me. Oh. And I'm like, what do you, you're killing us. Like, we've been here for 90 plus years in this location. I mean, you know. So it's been a lot. And we were having a lot of, I would say, improvements. But now that maybe the different phase of construction has happened, the people that had the message have moved on, and it hasn't been passed on further. I think they said that they're also working with something like 30 different vendors at the project. So
Like final fix things. And
yeah, I mean, it's like, who knows what their communication is like. But it's been an ongoing source of frustration. And that's why we are a little concerned that the 303 is the same development team as 330. And I should also point out, for those that don't know, the 330, like, we had multiple meetings with the city before they even started. And it was all about how they're going to mitigate the impacts, how it was not going to be negative for, you know, Detroit Street Filling Station and all that stuff. And it's just been hard. It's been a hard slog to deal with them. But we're looking forward to the day that it will be completed. Be my positive spin on that. So, and I do not know when that is. They're moving very slowly. So hopefully it's sooner than it seems from the outside. And it is looking that Dunbar might actually outpace them and be done faster at this point. Which, hey, doesn't matter to me. Less construction, that is what I want to see at Market. So, any questions? I know that was a lot again.
Jeff, you're on that side. Have you been impacted?
It's hard to get in and out of there all the time. It's really tight over there because the fence is pushed out in the street. And they park a crane there sometimes with the man lift. So, yes and no.
Nothing
It
new.
doesn't stop me from doing my job, no. But it's made my job more difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing that.
And that was the funny thing, is like, they moved the fiberglass truck, but then they put the crane there like 5 seconds later. So it's like, even if we had had them move this, so it's almost, sometimes it's like a comedy of errors over there on that side specifically. And not only that, I mean, construction workers using every single parking space on the street when we're open on Wednesdays is a thing.
It looks like it's at a phase of construction now where a lot of the workers are showing up like in personal cars. So they just boom, 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 park up there, and nobody even noticed
Right.
that
Right.
that car's been there all day. And meanwhile, that would have turned over
And
10 to 50 times
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
in a day. You know.
Yeah. I did have a question about the no parking signs, because they seem to be inside the market where the customers are right now, and I've had customers ask me like what's going
Yes.
on with this. So I was wondering if there was a way to not have giant no construction worker parking signs like within the market aisles when that's not where the construction workers
Right.
would
It's
be.
just, we're just reusing the signs is
Right.
what the issue is.
But customers have been confused by that.
No, I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
people are also confused about trying to park in the lot on Wednesday. Like, I thought it was free, but it says no. But it's like, it's just no customer or no construction parking. I mean, the good news is soon we will be switching to just the stanchions, which is our winter thing. So we won't be using the sandwich boards. So it should be solved in that regard. But I know, I've thought the same thing.
Yeah, if there was a way to just like cover up that part of the sandwich board or something during
oh, good one. Yeah.
days.
Yeah, we could try.
Like even a
It's just
blank
hard.
would be,
Yeah.
you know, because it's aggressive for a reason to try to get people not to
Right.
park, but then
Right.
people who are like walking through market are
Right.
confused
Yes.
about
Yep.
who are the construction workers, what's going on, like.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Or something. You could put like a sign with like, here are the new winter hours or something like that. You know, that kind of thing might be helpful to have on the sandwich
Starting in
boards.
January.
Or, yeah, customer facing signage
Yeah.
of some sort.
I think the main issue is that we've had to downsize our sandwich board just because we don't have space in our storage, and we've just had to like repurpose them in ways that aren't necessarily helpful. Yes. anything else on the neighborhood construction updates? Any questions that people have?
I think we need to have a party when 3:30 Detroit is done.
Well, 303 will be going, so.
Well,
How about when they're all done? Oh, I also should say I don't know what is going on with Brown Court. I know that they approved it in July. I have seen nothing since. So
Now, who owns that one?
that's a different,
Totally different.
totally different. Yeah, I don't recall, but it's something that's completely different. But when they do that, there will be a closure again of that side of Fourth. But further down.
It kind of helped out because they were using a lot of the staging for the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly?
Which one?
The Dunbar Tower.
Dunbar Tower, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yes.
Somebody's actually thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, Dunbar Tower seems to be doing pretty. I'm bummed that they're not the developer of the other ones.
You and me both. Because then that would mean there was actually affordable housing there. Probably. Because yeah, those are all, I should say, 303 and 330. They're both well above market value.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
if they get filled.
And
I
I
mean, I'm
think
sure
there's
they will.
2 or 3 units available.
Yeah.
I probably sound like a
and
broken
330.
record here, but I think that something is going to have to be done on Detroit Street, working with the city so that people aren't parking there overnight. We'll get there on Saturday morning and there'll be cars parked there, is what I'm afraid of.
Oh, for
I
the
agree.
residents?
Not
Or-
yet, but in the future.
In the future.
Yes.
I'm saying
I
residents
agree.
or guests or people who are staying there. I think they're going to park their car right on Detroit Street.
I
We're going
agree.
to get there to unload and we won't be able to. So I think we're going to have to somehow work with the city
Yeah.
and say, hey, this is no 3-hour parking maybe, or no parking on Fridays
Yep.
through the weekend. Or something.
Is it not already?
No, we can park there anytime.
Because a lot of downtown is
Yeah, 3
no
and 6
parking
a.m.
between 3 and
Yeah,
6.
there's a lot of those signs around.
Yeah.
Closer to campus, I noticed.
Well, also downtown.
Yeah.
Well, all it will take is like towing 2 people to spread the word, probably.
You would hope.
And,
You
and,
think. But we've had signs in the market for years, and we still have to tell people from time to time
But these
out
are
of
about the
market at 6 a.m.
residents, like the new residents and their guests.
Well, right. And I think, part of what we were trying to do to address this differently came from the road rage incident from Ruse Roast. But anyway, we were hoping to have like a loading zone signage go up there, so no parking loading zone, like 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., which I think would also help address that no overnight parking,
Yeah.
because no one's going to want to move their car at 5. And then the same thing at the end of Market.
But yeah, I think as someone who lives
Yes.
downtown, you figure out ways to deal with it, and the ways to deal with it are not leaving your car on the street overnight, because sometimes it'll be fine. I accidentally left my car overnight, but you generally don't. And I think that's why the car elevator and the underground parking
Yeah.
is supposed to presumably be mitigating some of that.
But the problem with the 330 is there's only 14 spots,
Yeah.
which is the amount of units that they have. And then I do not know what the amount of private parking will be on Dunbar Tower, because I know there's going to be 18 public spaces, but I don't know about resident parking
Yeah.
for that one. And then who knows with Braun thrown into the mix.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume they would have parking in the back off that alley like the other units do over there. But
Well, they had to. They were going to try to do it off of 4th, and they were like, no,
Yeah.
you will be doing it off the other side.
But there is substantial, alley kind of building it, and I would assume
Yeah.
for those.
It's just, it's going to bring a lot of people. Like, there's 60 plus units in Dunbar. There's 14. I don't know how many they're doing in 303.
With all the development that's going on around there, it's been talked about since I was a kid, and I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason why nothing's ever happened, but there always was talk of over there at the school, that big grassy area in front of the school, doing underground parking there.
I don't know.
So
I mean, I think part of the thing is that there is a massive structure that's just like 2 blocks away,
well, yeah.
which,
Yeah, you just gotta shift people's mind. I mean, most people I think are used to parking where that new building is going in,
yeah.
and so they'll just have to learn a new way, but we can be helpful in that.
People have been, I mean, market's been pretty busy considering
Yeah, it's
everything.
been really
so
busy.
people are figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
unfortunate.
at least the vendors that I'm working for, the year over year hasn't really changed. Those also aren't Wednesday vendors that I'm talking about, so it might be different on Wednesdays.
Wednesday's terrible.
But I would guess that's not because of parking, but because of
Yeah. I think
I think it's just
Wednesday
because of the
Lack of
construction.
cumulative.
struggling. I think
Yeah.
Wednesday is struggling because of the construction,
Yeah.
honestly.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. Any last thoughts on that? I know we could be here for a while on that. We still do have some time left if you have any last burning thoughts or questions on there. Okay.
If not, we're on to new business.
Yes.
Is there anything that anybody else wants to ask about? Stephanie, did you hear any more from Jeb about his future plans?
Yes. So Jeb, unfortunately, is leaving us. He is changing his business model and he needs to spend more time doing that. So December will be his last meeting. So we need a new daily vendor representative. So if you know anyone, let us know.
And will you send that out in your weekly email?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
And he was sorry that he could not be here tonight as well.
Is Carlene on the board now?
She is.
Yeah,
she
she's
also could not make it.
making wreaths.
I figured it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talked before the meeting and I shared the stuff we talked about.
And she asked me about the logos thing, and I already explained that to her too. So yes, the only downside I was going to say about the daily is I think a lot of people that were dailies when they're like, yeah, I'll be on PMAC, they're now annuals. So we're going to have to think about that.
What's the
Yeah.
difference there?
It's people that got their annual status, meaning that they have like a permanently assigned stall, versus newer people that haven't graduated into that yet. Yeah. But it would be nice if there would be maybe another artisan, but I think
Yes.
we're running out.
We'll work on Helen.
Okay. Good idea.
Oh, she's
I like
daily?
that.
What's that?
She's daily?
She is.
She's committed now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, she's not just a once per year
Right.
person. She's been
She's
coming
right
a lot
in
more
there.
frequently.
Good luck with that. I kind of tried to talk her into it.
What's that?
To be in on this
Oh, you already did?
a couple years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
But now she's more committed.
Right, she has more time. She is committed to the market. She loves it, yes.
She does.
Cool. All right. Any other new business?
So, Will and Marcus, just so you know that the artisans, because there's only a limited number of stalls for artisans, they're on the daily list a lot longer
Yes.
than the food producers. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, historically, food producers were also for quite a long time.
But it's like a 5 to 10 versus 25 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Any last new business? I do not have any.
All right. Then we have second public comment. Take it
Debbie.
away, Debbie.
Did Jeff tell you what he was going to say before he left? Probably not. Jeff Mahart,
Thank
that
you,
is.
Jeff, for sharing. I just want to thank everybody. I know this does take a lot of time, and you guys are the best. And it is the young people, I think, that are going to bring the market back and make it cool again when they come to the market and have a great time and put us on Facebook or whatever. That kind of... oh, it's not? Okay, whatever. Whatever they put us on. It's better than any advertisement we could pay for because it
Young
just...
people don't use Facebook.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Just say
Well, they go
social media.
online,
You'll be-
social media, okay. But
fine.
anyway, this is what I see on Wednesday. Yeah, you were going along with that. They come on Wednesday. They're so excited for a hands-on experience again. They're tired of buying online. They really like it. They like even paying cash. It's really cute. But the more that they put it out there, that's the best advertisement we can get. And it's so nice to see this generation getting excited about it again. And the freshness is very welcome. And there's a new David Zinn art installation in Carytown Courtyard. Absolutely adorable.
Trying to steal
So that'll be a
thunder.
little treasure hunt for people when they come to the market. And thank you all very much, and see you at the market.
Well, and at the market too.
Yeah, have you seen ours?
Oh, yeah.
That was part of
Yes.
our
Yeah.
query is, have you seen the Davidson in the market?
Yes, yes.
I
I
have.
don't know. Have.
Yes.
I
You
think
have
I
to come and
pictures.
see. Now, when the stalls are set up, the skirting's in the way a little bit. But a clue is it's on the west side of the market. We won't say near who, Donahue. And but
And
the
it's on
bonus
the
is the new
pillars.
one in Carytown Courtyard. It's adorable. There's 3 actually in there,
Cool.
so
Aw.
go check them out.
That would explain why I haven't seen it.
David
Yeah,
says
they're all
does the chalk drawings on the sidewalks and stuff. He'll pick a crack.
Yeah, I wouldn't have seen him because I walked by
He
on
does them like in
a
the
day when
morning,
there was no
at
market.
night,
So
and then
you said there's one on, if it's chalk, then how does it wash
it's not
away?
okay. They started out chalk. I think he puts a sealant
The
on it.
one that, yeah, ours is more meant to be more permanent.
Yeah.
Just
I
regular
haven't even
chalk.
seen it. It must be right by me.
It's actually between like Donahue and
It's on the
Tina,
other side.
It's on the other side.
and it's down low.
I got pictures.
And there's it's a kind of a big one in the front, and then a bonus one on the side. But when
In
people
front of what?
of the,
on the post.
on the where the railings are,
like where the
Here,
concrete
Jeff.
is at the
yeah,
bottom of the post.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Go take
It's
a
cool.
look.
They're very cool. He's
This
quite
one's the one
famous,
that
and we're
said-
lucky to.
Cool.
Yeah, there it
I see
is.
it, but
Yeah.
Send your kids to
I haven't
find
seen
I
them.
it.
never would have known.
Oh, really? Well,
Was that a
take your
mouse
time.
store?
There's a mouse
Yeah.
and a squirrel.
Yeah, they're
I
adorable.
want a different aisle.
And because they're under at the market, they should last longer. Usually they're out in the elements where you see them.
Well, this one's also supposed to be more permanent, like when you
Yeah.
put it in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So there's different applications,
Yes.
I guess.
I think he's making them more permanent now because I touch them. And they don't. I do, and they aren't coming off like
Yeah, no.
the old.
Paint.
Yeah, so they're kind of cool. They'll be there for a minute. They're fun. It's our Ann Arbor cool stuff.
And the ones in the marketplace, I saw one on the bricks, which was really fun.
Yes. Yeah.
By Little Kim.
I'll show it to you on Saturday. I'll make you walk over there and
I'll
look
be able
at
to
it.
find it now that I
Okay.
Wait, I
Will you
Just
remember?
gets there
Bring
early
the
enough,
twins
they'll
and
see.
ask them to find them.
Oh, they'll love it. Yeah. David's
They're coming
in.
Saturday, I think.
Are they?
Okay.
Cool. It'd be great to see them.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The apple bosses, you mean?
Yep.
That's cute.
All right.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Debbie. Anybody else?
Well, I'll just tack onto that and say, as part of Market being cool, that Sparrow Market is now owned by 2 friends of mine, Ray and Christina, and Monahan's has a new young owner, Tommy, and there's a lot of energy of like, yeah, going into Carytown
Yes.
to go hang out and like get lunch at Monahan's and go to Sparrow to buy your meat and things like that. And I think there's some synchronicity there where it's, a place to meet up that's not just, I feel like growing up here was always sad to see all the old places go. Like when Cosmo went, everyone's like, well, it's no longer a place to go for lunch or whatever. And so I'm just excited about making that, I don't know, a thing that people know about more. I just went upstairs and saw the knife shop in Carytown. I feel like it's hard to know what's all changing, but I'm excited to.
That's great. And Raymond and Christina are amazing.
Great.
They're supposed to be here today, actually, because we would like to bridge the gap of Carytown and the farmers market.
They actually
And
have been
start-
advertising on their advertisements for Sparrows. They've been talking about the market.
Yes.
Like, hey,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
which is
It is.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's going to definitely help out. People want to come and they go buy their meat and
Yes.
get some fish or grab some lunch
Yes.
or whatever, and then do some
Yes. The
shopping.
new young energy is wonderful.
Yep.
Very
Knife Shop
welcome.
bought some flowers from us last week.
Oh, nice.
2 weeks ago when they opened.
That's sweet.
Aw.
So
Yeah.
they got a couple bouquets to spruce up the place. So there's reciprocal support too.
Yes.
Which is nice.
And I think it's funny you say bridging the gap because many people think we already are Carytown Market.
Right.
Right.
So that's the other thing.
Right.
They
But
think
we're
we
the
are same
Ann Arbor
entity.
Farmers Market in Carytown. Exactly. Yeah.
We
Right.
predate them by decades. But it's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to have Little Kim there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's
yeah.
like, I think it's one of the
Yes.
best lunches in town now. It's
Yes.
expensive, but it's
That's
really good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Wonderful. So
All right.
last-
With that,
Right.
I think we'll adjourn, and it's 6:46.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
It's nice to see you in
Did it.
person.
Thank you.